Here I am. So next up, I'd like to introduce Gino Brazil, who grew up in a tiny northeastern New Mexico town of Cimarron, an area steeped in history and lore. As a young boy, Gino loved stories, the stories of heroes found in comic books, the mysterious stories of Edgar Allan Poe, and the stories of underdogs. While attending the College of Santa Fe in the 70s, Gino discovered the works of Chicano authors and poets, like renowned storyteller Rodolfo Anaya. In the last several years, Gino has taught writing, basic Spanish, and storytelling classes at Lafarge Library in Santa Fe, and most recently at the RAALP office.
Let's see if we can get this a little bit. Good afternoon. I assume you're here because you love words, or maybe somebody twisted your arm and said you need to get to the RAALP event. Either way, thank you for attending this afternoon. I was pleased to see that poetry was added to the storytelling components. Fantastic job, Michelle, with your piece and the workshops that you have done around northern New Mexico. Poetry is, in essence, a little mini story. What I'm going to share with you, a very short ode this afternoon. And odes they go back to Greek and Roman times. And an ode is usually a short piece of work that acknowledges a thing, a place, a tribute to a person. Odes have undergone some changes. In the past, they were very lyrical with formats, and current contemporary artists and writers are much more flexible. A lot of free verse. One particular Latin American poet that wrote a lot of odes was Pablo Neruda. Maybe some of you recognize the name. And he wrote odes to tomatoes, to onions, to the nose, to socks that somebody gave him. Gary Soto, a Hispanic American poet that I follow a lot, wrote odes to tortillas, to tennis shoes, to basketball. So you can really be flexible with writing an ode. The ode that I'm going to share with you today is about the trees in my yard. When I first got to my yard and I was fortunate enough to buy a piece of property some 30 years ago, the first thing I did was start planting trees. And today I have about 75 trees on a small piece of property of all varieties, except no Chinese elm and no Russian olive. As I share this poem with you, I hope that you will think about an idea maybe for your own writing, an ode. When I teach classes, I tell people there's several reasons to storytell, and it's to leave a legacy for your family members, for others, or for yourself. We're here in northern New Mexico. The other thing I always say is we're steeped in the oral tradition. And this is one reason why I approached Brenda. I'm a real advocate for storytelling, for education, for reading. And when I went to her office 2 years ago, I said, we need to continue. So you as individuals, share storytelling with your friends or your family members. Keep it going. So perhaps, again, you will think of a topic, an idea to write a note or a little story or a poem. Perhaps a tree that meant a lot to you as a child or even today in your world. So this is called Ode to the Trees. The trees stand tall, scattered around the yard, planted knee-height, now many of them 5, maybe 6 times the height of me, shoulder upon shoulder. Trees with majestic titles, Honeycrisp, Sweet 16, Flowering Redbud, Austrian Pine, Douglas Fir. But I have assigned them new names. The apple tree, where the acequia water flows to the garden, is Isidro, honoring the patron saint of farmers. At the entryway, 2 giant pine trees side by side, my twin towers, a tribute to 9/11. The tree that shades the orchard grass and that I hug when I need energy, I simply call Mom. And there in the corner, it's Romeo and Juliet. There, where a neighbor's tree sneaks over a fence and entwines its branches into my Norway spruce. They deserve heroic names, these giving trees. They gift magpies and ravens a place to perch and broadcast their code talk squawks. These trees gift a playground for hummingbirds to somersault from limb to limb. The trees gift a rainbow of succulent, sweet, and tart fruits that seem ready to burst to the touch. This pantheon of trees gift hope and happiness, purpose and pride in ownership. They gift stories and memories. These trees in my place, the angels of my yard. Thank you.